Hey everyone, I am Manic Landizzy and welcome to Neko Necro. I've been looking forward to this game for ages, ever since JXT announced it, which I think was back when I played one of their games on a YouTube video, which is called Mr. Cheebs, which really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the other game that they made, which was Quickly Quackly, and yeah, I just love the way that this game looks. I actually have the developer of this game on Discord at the moment. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yep, sure can.
Cool. I think I got the volume. Hopefully I haven't got the game audio overpowering you. So yeah, I was just literally just loaded the game up, and one of the first things I noticed in here, you've got lots of options on it. You don't usually see, like, well, in particular, you've got the accessibility. I don't think I've ever seen that in a platformer before.
Yeah, it's okay. So the game is monochrome. It all looks like my drawings on paper, and I really wanted to stick to that. However, it makes certain things visually quite hard to describe. So there are some options like colored overlay and being able to fade the background out a little to try and make it a little clearer, because I absolutely refuse to like add colors or anything.
Well, it's one of the things I was thinking is, like, first thing I thought is it kind of caters for people with color blindness. But it was the overlay thing that I liked. The fact that, I mean, I have well, I was diagnosed as dyslexic, and I was given like various screens to put over the writing. I think now it's known as Erland's syndrome. But it's yeah. When I saw the overlay thing on there, I thought, oh, that makes things a lot easier. So I'm going to stick that overlay on, and I'm going to put that on the green, because that actually does make it easier for me to see. And the other thing I noticed as well is you've got game speed and jump leniency, which I'm assuming, well, again, it's one of the things I've seen a few people complain about with a lot of games, that it moves too quick for them, that they can't react to it. And I think it's brilliant that you've put that into a game.
Thank you.
So, what actually got you into it, into like game development, and that, like, what made you want to create this?
I have literally always wanted to make games since I was like, I think about 6 or 7, and I'm not very good with code. That's the thing, and the tools available now are so good. I made the game in something called Construct, which is very friendly to people who don't like code, and so somebody who's an artist like me can quite easily make games.
So,
like, the tech has caught up with me.
so what is Construct? Because I've never used it myself. I mean, I've played around with a little bit with Unity, and I managed to make a 3D environment that you could walk around in. I didn't really code anything with that, but most of my experience is all with the Commodore 64, where I used to code in Commodore Basic. So I've never heard of Construct.
Construct is it's difficult to describe. A lot of it is just dragging and dropping into the scene. It's a 2D engine, so you can like drag your PNG files and just make animations really easily. And instead of code, it's got, like, you sort of make these decision boxes, like if player hits spike, then do this kind of thing. It's not exactly code. It's kind of like, I don't know, almost like dragging the code bits together in Scratch, but not quite as resembling code.
Well, I might have to give that a look, because I've got a few ideas, like, for games that I've, well, I wanted to do a sequel to a game that I made years ago on the Commodore 60. Whoops, just died straight away. I wanted to make a sequel to a game I made on the Commodore 64, which I'd actually made using something called Gary Kitchen's Game Maker. And that one there, you didn't have to type the code. You could drag and drop the code in, basically, or select the code and drop it in and move it around. But that again was a lot of just basically questions like, if you press this button, what happens? I'm currently learning how to get past the first crab. I'm not going to win any time bonuses on this. So what was your main influence behind Neko Necro?
I love platform games. I was playing one on a mobile device made with Construct, actually, called Cluckle's Adventure, and it's fun, but I felt like there could be more to it. And a lot of the time when I'm playing games, I'm just like, I would have done this differently, and that's more often than not my inspiration. I'll probably start a project and, like, if it starts really going places, this I would have made this game but different sort of idea. If it starts actually resembling something fun, I'll just continue with it.
Well, it's definitely one of the things that this has got with it. I mean, obviously the drawing style isn't like retro. It's kind of like got a... Well, I really like the cartoon drawing style of it, but it also has a very retro feel. Very retro feel to the play style of it, and it's nowhere near as difficult as Quickly Quackly.
Oh, Quickly Quackly was fast. It was hard because there was no time to react.
Yeah, it was. I would almost put Quickly Quackly into the category of a frustration game as well. Because it's like there was so many times where it's like I got to certain bits of it. It's like, I know I can get past you. I know I can get past you, and it's like it's the amount of times I almost got there. But yeah, this is
that's fair.
But I still really enjoyed it though. Like one of the things I liked with it was the fact that you'd gone out of your way to make it. To make it looked like it was on the ZX Spectrum.
You know why I did that? Because a fellow developer told me I shouldn't.
I like that. Anyone says that you shouldn't do a thing, yeah, go ahead and do it.
That was the whole thing with Quickly Quackly. I mean, it's a game based around time limits, and I got angry at a YouTube video because a creator I normally like said, like, it was a Super Mario Brothers video, and they said that time limits do not belong in platform games. And I'm like,
but that was like fundamental part of pretty much every platform game I ever played. But I will get past this bit. It's yeah. I mean, I do kind of like the fact this doesn't have a time limit on it, and I like the fact that there isn't any like life limit. But yeah, back in the 80s, like every platformer had a time limit on it and limited lives. But then it also comes from an era of where everything was about like getting as many quarters out of you as they could.
Yeah, they were challenging. I'm still fond of them. Some people just really hate running out of lives though and having to start from the beginning, which is, you know, again, that's fair. So this game doesn't have any of that. I almost gave it 9 lives, but that would be horrible.
Well, so that would have fitted the theme because well, Necro is a cat. Or
Indeed.
Neko even, yeah. I'm assuming they're a cat and not a black horny devil. But okay, now. Oh, is that an achievement I just got? If I fits, I sits. I can't get past this one little point here. But it's one of the things I kind of like as well, is that the old school style platformers are making a comeback.
Yeah, there's a fair few developers sort of like really fond of the old style of platformer that are making them, and it's great to see. You know, like the new school, the old school, just the variety out there that the indie developers are making is like the best thing.
Well, there was another game that I played a while back. I don't think I've done it on stream. It's more of one that I've just played with friends. It's like when I've got a few friends available, we play it on our remote play together on Steam. Which was it Battle Block Theatre? That I liked because it had a very old school platformer feel to it.
I think I've seen that around. I've never played it.
Well, that there's got a very cartoon
library.
feel to it as well, but not in the same way. Yours has got like more like the comic book sort of. Okay, I didn't die this time. Yours has got a very much the old comic book sort of feel to it. Like it. In fact, that actually brings me to a question. Like, did you do these like in an app, or like all the drawings in an app, or did you do them on paper and pen?
Paper.
They're actually done on paper.
Paper and pen. I have a document folder that is like half full of all the graphics made for this game. They're all ink on paper.
Yeah, because I was going
every single one.
I was going to say, it's like when you look like really closely at some of the assets you've got there, you can almost see the grain of it. I wasn't sure whether that was just an effect you used or whether you actually did it on paper. But I mean, that makes it even better.
I actually did it on paper.
I am really out of practice with platform games. I don't know if you're watching how bad I'm doing. But like, yeah, again,
I wouldn't say bad.
But that is, yeah, I can press jump twice. So, did you do all the music as well for it, or did you get someone else in to do your music?
All the art, all the music, all the level design. It's all me.
Well, so again, it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm always wanting to support indie developers, and right next to the exit there, and I died. I'm always wanting to support indie developers because it's all the work that goes into into making any game, be it platform or 3D game. And when I see like what is accomplished by just one person, I'm even more amazed by it.
Yeah, making games is a lot of work, and you know this one has taken 4 years of my life to make.
Well, it's like, it's like I said at the beginning of the stream. I think was it the first game of yours I played was one that you did it for a game jam, I think, which was the Mr. Cheebs.
Yep.
And I did enjoy that one. Like, I mean, a lot of game jam games are short anyway. But how long did you have to do that one?
I believe that was 3 days.
Yeah,
and
so
I almost killed myself doing it because there was so much drawing and everything to do for it.
it's well, I've seen like a few that have been done on game jams, and it's like some of them I think you've got like I've seen people putting on there. It's like this game was made in 12 hours, and you know this game was made in 1 week, and it's yeah, I think they're amazing when you can see what can be done in that sort of time. And it's I think it's a really good way as well of like just getting some just experimentation in there, just seeing like what works, and like being a good way of exchanging ideas. And like I think I said to you at the time with that one, can I go up that way? Oh no, that's the way I came. I remember at the time I said that I thought that Mr. Cheebs would actually make a good mobile game.
It probably would. I really like about jams because there's very little time to get things done. You can make a pretty good game, but there's no time to overthink stuff or go back over it and edit it until it's perfect. And I think there's an element of that just lends itself to kind of crazy, anarchic like experimentation and wacky ideas, and I like that a lot.
I've played some absolutely weird games that come out of game jams, particularly around like Halloween. There's some of the absolutely just weird. Like there was one that I played. It was blatantly a rip-off of Nightmare on Elm Street, but was a to do with toilets. And yeah, that one. I think that one they had something like a week to make the game in. Was there looks like I could have taken an alternate route there. But yeah, I think it's amazing that this is all done on paper as well. So
what is amazing is flicking through the pages, especially for the story scenes between levels, and just looking at all the drawings. It took long enough, but like the time is all sort of visible in this wodge of paper.
So have you thought about like writing a book, or do you have a blog or anything like that about it?
I was doing devlogs, but as the development of Neko Necro kind of went on, I wanted to spend less time making videos about making the game and more actually just making it. So I might get back into that, sort of make a post-release video, you know, what I liked, what maybe I didn't like about the development, what went well, stuff like that, maybe.
Oh, it's got caught by the same spikes. Yeah, one of the things I'm liking was that Neko Necro post-mortem. I like that. I like that. That's a good name for it, I think. But then that implies, yeah, death. But no, I want this game to be very much alive. This is really enjoyable, and like where I've put up on various groups that I was going to be streaming this. A few people have actually said, "Oh, I bookmarked that as soon as I shared it." They're like, "Really like the look of that."
Thank you.
Yeah, one of the things I'm liking with this is it doesn't have this horrendous difficulty that Cuphead has. That was I still haven't actually played Cuphead myself, but watching other people play Cuphead, it really put me off.
I played it a bit. It's good. Yeah, it really is hard. I think like Cuphead was revealed way before I started work on this, and it made me want to make like a high resolution 2D game way before I even started. So it's probably one of the influences.
Oh, I will get past this one crab. This has got like sort of a puzzle element to it as well. Like it's not just like just jumping around and bash into things. There is an element of how do I get past that without landing on that other bit.
And the hardest thing for me is I want people to win at my games, and when we were testing Quickly Quackly, I was a pain in the rear for backseating my testers. I was like, oh no, you should do it this way, and it's like, okay, yeah, Jay, we're supposed to be testing your game, you know, like we don't mind that we're failing at it, we're learning the game, and I'm just like, I want you guys to win, so it's so hard for me not to be like giving you advice here. I do though. I want players to win my games. They may be difficult, but I like to think they're fair. Like,
yeah,
they're doable.
Yeah, they're not. What's it called? Dark Souls. That's. I was streaming Dark Souls. Oh, right, that's how I get up there. I was streaming Dark Souls for a while, and I think I spent something like I did 3 streams just to get past the first boss in that, and then it's like I still carried on playing it, but it was like after a while I was just like, no, I cannot do this anymore. I'm getting so fed up with this game, and I'm only playing it for the sake of streaming it, I was no longer enjoying the game because it was just it felt unfair. What's this? I wondered before if ever we get one of Jay's games in an event, if I'll be able to convince them to just kind of stand back and shush.
Oh, if it's an event, I probably will. Yeah, put me around a load of people. I'm super shy, so yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I'm assuming ZLTGD is someone who works with you. I will get past this bit. I got past it just now.
ZLTGD. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, they're in the chat.
That will be probably my friend Zane Stroke said, who published this.
Just popped up out of nowhere. No, that's perfectly alright. Perfectly alright, Zed. I was actually going to ask because I did actually look at the publishing thing on there. That was just a silly move by me. I did actually was looking at the other games through the same publisher, and I was curious with a few of those as well. And it did make me wonder: how did I get up there before? It did make me wonder, like whether it was like whether like Zed was local or like an international thing.
We're Twitter friends, basically, and Zed was looking into publishing for his own game, Reiterate, which is again a pretty good precision platformer, and I think he made an offer to his Discord channel, like anybody that was unable to publish for various reasons, like he'd step in and help them. And I was like, does that include people who are just confused by the whole admin side of it? Because, and I didn't know this at the time, I have since been diagnosed autistic, so sometimes I get confused by random things. I have no idea why, but like if they got a huge volume of information or something, and forms, I can't with forms and admin. So Zed's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Yeah, I'm autistic with ADHD. I don't get on with forms. In fact, I'm actually having issues with the DWP at the moment over the universal credit thing, and it's like I'm really struggling with like getting my housing component. Mostly because they keep on asking for like various bits of information. It's like, but I gave you that. It's like, oh yeah, but this bit hasn't been filled out correctly. You haven't precisely filled out this form with this exact piece of information, and yeah, I just don't get it. I hate forms. I did actually have. Sorry.
Really suck. The DWP really suck as well.
Well, it's like I don't think they get like what autistic people are like when it comes to work. It's like, for me, I can work. I have absolutely no issue with working. It's just that no one wants to employ me. Yeah, it's I always feel that it's not that I'm not fit for work as much as I'm unemployable. No one wants to employ an ADHD autistic person who they might have to have a break at any moment because they're getting overwhelmed. And it's like with me, like I'm absolutely fine with working as long as I'm left to my own device. Like, just give me a job to do and leave me to it. Yeah, if I've got someone constantly micromanaging me, I can't deal with that. Or telling me like, oh, you have to do it this way.
Oh, that's the worst though, isn't it? Helicopter parenting, except it's your boss.
Yeah. I mean, it's like me. I like to have my own environment. My own environment, a safe space. I would actually probably be doing better with this if I wasn't constantly yapping.
Sorry.
But no. Yeah. I wanted to have you on here. I thought it'd be like an absolutely really good way of well, helping to get you out there. Not that I have, a huge amount of viewers. I'm not a big streamer, but oh, there's a hidden platform or hidden springboard. But no, I thought it would be a brilliant way to get you, get you a bit more promotion as well. And just, I've never done an interview or like spoken to a developer on my stream before. So yeah, you're my first interview basically. Hey, Comfy Dev, how are you? Welcome to the stream. So, have you got any plans for merch?
I have been asked about shirts and things, and I think my attitude has been I'm going to see how well the game's doing before I look into anything like that. Because I don't know why and publisher guys there has told me off for this. I've never really had a lot of confidence in my work, and
you're an artist. No artist ever has confidence in their work.
It goes with the territory. But yeah, a lot of people seem to really like Necro, even like pre-release, and judging by my Twitter notifications, it's doing well today. So, I may look into it. I'm going to have a week's break, just post-release, let everything simmer down, and then I'll come back to it and see what I can do, maybe.
Well, it's if you're ever going to have Neko plushies, I will definitely have one. One
of them exists.
There is.
I actually have my own Neko Necro plushie. A friend made it. It was part of an art trade because I drew an Invader Zim thing she really liked, and she's like, I will make you something if you give me that. I'm like, okay, yeah. Can you make a plush of this and picture of Necro? So that was a thing that happened. I have my own plush Necro.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love one. I mean, I love cats. Yeah, hence the Razer Kraken Kitty headphones, and I don't know if it's visible on the shelf behind me in the camera. There's a
definitely see your cat ears.
In behind me. Yeah, I don't know if it's visible. I've got a wig that I'm working on, like a dreadlock wig, which has got a set of cat ears on it. Oh, poop. I know what I need to do to get past this bit. I'm just not doing it. There was one bit like I'm expecting to be. Oh, no! I should have done that. Nope. Yeah, I've seen like some clips of like some of the boss fights, and I'm looking at that, I'm gonna die there. I've already lost count how many times I've died already. I've just seen how to get past that, but yeah, I've got to time that just right. I noticed you got a bit of parallax scroll in the background there as well. Reminds me of playing on the old Mega Drive.
Yeah, the Mega Drive is my favourite console ever, and I used to be obsessed with games that had a lot of the illusion of a lot of layers going on in parallax, and yeah, I think it's one of the things I just wanted to capture in this game.
Yeah, the whole parallax thing, it was something that I could never understand why it was only the 16-bit consoles that did it, because they did do it with the Commodore 64 with some games.
Commodore 64 was quite powerful though.
Yeah, but I mean, considering what it was working with, because back then, game development, I've said this in a few streams, today we have a lot of room to make stuff, and you've got memory to waste, whereas back then, on a 64, that's 64 bits, not bytes, not megabytes, Sorry, not bits. Sorry, 64K even. 64 kilobytes, not like gigabytes or megabytes or even terabytes. Kilobytes. 64K is like you can't even. A picture file would take up more than that, and it's like, but that's what games were made with back then, and it's like I found it amazing that was done. Whereas today, like my computer here has got 32 gigabytes of RAM in it. 4, maybe 3, 4. That's probably taken up with Windows. The rest of that, you can go nuts with. But 64K is a hell of a limit, and then you've got the ZX48s at 48K, even less. So today we have the luxury of being allowed to be deeply inefficient. Exactly. I mean, when you created this, I mean, I know you said you used an engine for it, but did you have to really monitor your memory usage or anything with it?
I probably should have done.
Oh, God, bloody, I've got hair in my eye.
I wasn't very stringent with the memory. Like because I've drawn so many really high resolution things and just sort of just thrown them into the game, like these story scenes. It's just like it works. It's not slowing down. It's not crashing. Okay, that's fine. It will do. But if I look into putting this on console, I know people have like both asked and offered about Switch ports, for example. I might have to do some optimizing there. We'll see.
So, I was thinking actually I could put a FPS counter up on the screen, but like it feels really smooth, so I'm assuming that this is running in at least 60 frames a second.
Yeah, it should be. My screen only goes up to 60, and I only actually get frame drops when I'm recording with OBS. So if I'm not recording, doing anything in the background, it's just a solid 60.
I don't seem to be getting any visible frame drop or anything with it. It's running really smooth. Is that a zombie whale?
It is a whale.
No, I thought you were saying like, it's just the way you say like, it sounds like you're saying whale, but it's like almost in like the brains sort of way.
I hadn't thought of it that way. The whole story with the whale is it's just me being silly. Sometimes the things I put in my game are just whatever I wanted to draw at that particular moment. This first boss was originally going to be a giant version of one of the totem poles you may have seen in the background.
Right.
But then one day I just thought a whale in a fez would be more fun, so I drew that.
Yeah, but you need a little bit of light-heartedness to a game like this. Can't be all serious and that. It's no, I like the I like the idea of this one.
I mean, that's the thing. To me, this is sometimes an unpopular idea to some people, but games are supposed to be fun.
Oh, I agree.
I try to have fun making them. Hopefully, if I have fun making them, it will show, and people playing them will have fun.
Was this incidentally the only drawback? I'm going to die here a few times because I'm reading the chat. That's okay. That's that's a good thing there. What Zed was saying is about the thing on the Steam page is there's no minimum requirement for it because you guys haven't actually been able to find a system it won't run on.
Yeah, that's actually true. It was. I did switch computers halfway through developing it, and the thing I was developing at the time originally is a bit of a potato laptop that, again, didn't actually struggle at all. I think it probably worked to my favour that potato laptop could only do 720p. So this is not a 1080p game; it's like 720 pixels tall. Just because when I started it, that's all I could do. And I think that's accidentally keeping some of the images smaller than I think they are.
And you're probably going to end up with people there going, yeah, I want it in 8K and I want it at 144 frames a second. So it doesn't need it. Not every game on Earth needs to be in super high resolution with insane frame rate. I mean, I'm assuming, did you grow up in the 80s or the 90s?
I was born in 1980, so sort of both. I think I love the 90s more than the 80s, but yeah, it's all the past. It's all my childhood.
Yeah, I grew up in the 80s, so like my first experience with video games was Frogger in the arcade, Space Invaders. I had a Binatone Pong machine at home, and I remember the NES coming out. So like my first ever platform experience was the original Mario Brothers. Like not Super Mario Brothers, just Mario Brothers from the arcade.
Yeah, the ones with the turtles coming out the pipes on the
side. It wasn't actually, strangely, it wasn't for years that I'd actually ended up playing Donkey Kong. I didn't actually play Donkey Kong until they brought out the, I forget what it was called now, but it was the Donkey Kong on the Game Boy, where they had like multiple levels to it.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah, I think it was just called Donkey Kong, but it gets referred to as Donkey Kong 94, the year it came out. And it's a banger.
Oh. I will get past this whale. Oh, he always keeps catching me on that same platform. I remember once on the on the NES, because originally my parents bought the NES for the family, but it lived in their bedroom. I knew full well it was, because they bought it more for them than for us. But then, like, as me and my brother got games to it became definitely more mine and my brother's thing than my parents'. But they loved it, and it's like their favourite game was Super Mario Brothers on it. And I remember one night they actually let me stay up late because I got to World 8 on it without going through any warp things as well. And they let me stay up late because it's like the fact I was right at the end of the game. Yeah, I cannot dilly-dally on this level. So what's your favourite platformer that you've played?
The original Sonic the Hedgehog. I think anybody that has come to this stream, because I linked it somewhere, that knows me, just knew I was going to say that.
Yeah, well, no, actually, out of the Sonic the Hedgehogs, that one is my favourite. I like all the others as well, but yeah, definitely the original is my favourite one.
Same. I think that's sort of where my, I was always really into games, but I think the original Sonic the Hedgehog is just where it became the big love affair of my life. Like, oh, this is so amazing. It's the art, the sound, just the speed of it. It's just the best thing at the time. I love it.
Well, one of the things I remember when the original Sonic the Hedgehog came out, like the newspapers were going on about it being the noisiest game ever made. Because it had so many different sounds in it, along with the music and that, and like no other game had ever had that level of diversity in the sound in any game up until then. But the thing that amazed me about it more than anything was how fast it was, and the fact that you could go backwards.
What, like going back in the levels or running backwards?
Being able to like move 2 screens to the right and be able to move 1 screen to the left, which you couldn't do with the original Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario Bros. Did not allow that. Now I ask about the running backwards because before the game came out, there was a TV ad. The 90s Sega adverts were actually amazing. And this ad, Sega were doing this thing with a guy who lives in a lorry full of Sega games, and there was this ninja backflipping toward him, gonna take him out, and they had like parallel edited this with footage of Sonic like bouncing off enemy robots and stuff. And there is a bit where he sort of hits a spring and runs backwards up a curve, and everything about that looked amazing. I was like, I need this game. I have no idea what the hell it is, but I need it.
Something I've seen quite a bit about, like, I've seen a lot of people comparing this to Super Meat Boy. I've still never actually played Super Meat Boy.
Not be wrong.
Same platform. I keep on dying on that same platform.
I would say Super Meat Boy is a big influence. I didn't always like it, but the thing is, when it came out, it was a bit of a watershed moment because, like, the press started taking 2D games seriously again. For a while in the PS1 and PS2 era, anything that was 2D, people were like, oh, what is this shit? It belongs on a Mega Drive. This is terrible, it's old-fashioned. And there were magazines doing things like giving Castlevania Symphony a legendary score because it's 2D. Like, how wrong can you be about a thing? But then you've got the whole XBLA indie thing, and you've got stuff like Super Meat Boy and Fez coming out, and people are like, oh yeah, well 2D's good.
Yeah, there's to be honest, I think there's quite a few games that were traditionally 2D that were ruined by them being made like into 3D games. Like Sonic the Hedgehog being one of them. I hated the 3D versions of Sonic. I mean, I think out of all of the 3D Sonics, the first one that I actually was alright with was Sonic Generations. But then that was, to me, that still felt like, even though it was 3D, it still felt like a 2D game. It's just that occasionally, like, you would be sideways view on it, and then it would just go slightly behind, but still controlled like it was a 2D game, and that I liked.
I think 3/4 of Sonic Generations just was 3D. As you say, the side view bits in the modern stages, then they had entire, the old-fashioned stages, the classic ones. They were just all 2D. I think that was Sega just realizing what worked with Sonic and sort of sticking to it.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I didn't like with a lot of the Sonic games as well was where they started introducing more and more characters and trying to come up with stories for it all, but then like it started feeling more and more childish as it went on. Like, whereas back when I originally played Sonic, it felt like a teenager's game. Yeah, it felt like it was made for like 13-year-olds plus. Whereas like the more recent Sonic games, with the way they've made them, they feel like they're made for kids. And that put me off quite a bit. Oh, missed the jump. I will get past this one platform. I keep dying on the same one as like waiting. Except for there where I just press the wrong button. I'm the queen of wrong buttons when it comes to any game.
We've all done it.
I was always doing it with Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So, out of curiosity, why is the whale wearing a fez?
There's a story to this.
No, I was expecting there to be. I was there like thinking like, nah, it's not going to be like some just randomly wearing a fez.
It kind of is just randomly wearing a fez, but okay, so I am a chronic reader. You leave anything resembling a pen and paper near me, and you know, with enough time, there will be doodles happening. And I like big dumb animals, like whales. And I went through a phase of just drawing whales in different headwear on different things. And one of them, my partner, Harry, who was at university at the time, he found out that I drew this whale wearing a fez in one of his, I think it was like one of his coursework books or something for animation. But he only found out when his tutor was going through this as an assessment. Like, just turn a page and there's a whale and a fez that a bored Jade did. I don't know, that to me that was just so funny that I had to put a whale in a fez somewhere that other people would see.
Yeah, when I play a lot of old retro games or just platformers in general now, I kind of think like, how did I ever manage to complete these games back in the 80s? I seem to have like just, I don't know, I don't seem to be anywhere near as good as I used to be. I don't think it's
that whenever I try and play Jet Set on the Spectrum. I used to be able to go through most of the mansion, like not collecting everything. I never beat the game, but I used to be able to see most of the mansion. Now it's like 6 or 7 rooms tops. I am so bad at it.
I don't think it's down to like, you know, getting old. I think it is more of like a reflection of actually how in general modern video games do tend to be a lot easier. Like you were saying earlier, that you don't have the risk of having to start right from the beginning anymore. Yeah, there's ever since like save points became very much a thing, the risk isn't there anymore. So basically, I think that as far as there being a challenge, has made us lazy as gamers.
Yeah, I think that's kind of right. The stakes are sort of lower if you can just start the same thing you just died on like a million times. But at the same time, a lot of games
oh, nearly did it.
They get around that by just jacking the difficulty right up to insane levels. Not that I did this with Quickly Quackly or anything.
Hey, Space Spy TV, how are you? I've lost count how many times I've died to this whale now.
You got this, though. I believe in you.
I'm
not gonna backseat, but like,
I'm sure I'll get past it. It's getting those platforms as well at the right timing. Oh, that was a wrong button moment. Space Spy TV says to tell you that they say hello.
Hello there.
Oh, it's always that one platform. What I need to do is bounce off of there and double jump rather than landing on that platform. Stopping by to check out the long-awaited Neko Necro. Looks great. Thank you for coming along, Blue Pin. Like anyone who is on the stream who doesn't know about the game or has not seen it before, wants to buy it, head over to that link there, and that will take you to directly to the Steam page for the game.
So surreal.
Sorry, I missed that. Oh, poop.
I was just saying it's surreal, the game being out. Like, working on it for 4 years. It has been my life, and now I don't know what I'm going to do with my life.
Well, have a break and then think of your next game.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely have a break.
And I was, I don't know if you are aware of Suna mods at all. They do various mods for games, but in particular, one of their projects has been a mod called Echo S, which is a mod for Final Fantasy VII, where it adds voice acting to it, and that's been a project that they've sort of been working on since 2016, but it's obviously involved a lot of other people as well to make the voices. But I watched the video where they I watched the stream where they finished the at least the beta version of it, and at the end of it they were in tears because they do all the coding and everything on stream, and they were in tears at the end of it, and it was like yeah, I can imagine what it's like having a project that's taken up like such a huge chunk, and then you finally reach the end of it, and it's like, you know, what do I do now?
For real, I think it's quite common among developers to actually get like post-release depression. Not because the release has gone badly or anything, but because it's been such a big part of their life for so long that when it's not there, I don't know, there must be this emptiness. I don't know why I'm saying I don't know, there must be, because no, I'm feeling that. I'm working on Neko Necro for so long, I just can't imagine not doing. And this is 4 years, so people work way longer than that game.
Well, game development is something that I want to get back into myself. Like, I have actually just downloaded Unreal Engine, and I'm intending to learn how to use that because I do every Friday I do a horror stream where I don't play I don't always play big games. In fact, most of the time I play games from itch.io, and I'm critical. sometimes it can sound like I'm being really nasty as well, but it's basically I'm not critical without advice on it. Like I have an idea of what I believe the perfect horror would be like, or like what I think makes a good horror. And I often criticize like a lot of the AAA titles because to me they tend to be horror themed rather than being actual horror. And I love horror games. But I play horror games because I want to be scared. And quite often I'll criticize it, saying it's like this game, this bit was good, but you need to do this sort of thing on it. And I kind of starting to feel like I don't deserve to be critical of a game without being able to put my money where my mouth is, if you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I have made games back in the 80s. Nothing that ever got published because it's not like I had the ability to publish anything. It was just make a game and distribute it amongst a bunch of friends.
Yeah, I did that in the 90s. I think I had been making games since roughly about 94, and a lot of them were stuff for either the Acorn Archimedes computers they used to have at school or Commodore Amiga. And yeah, same deal, just like floppies.
I landed on my
fanny. And that was it. I don't think publishing, sort of independent publishing, was a thing back then.
Well, it was one of the things actually. I don't know if you remember on the original PlayStation, there was a version which was completely black, and it was called the Rose PlayStation, and you could make your own games on it. And once a month, PlayStation Magazine used to give away a disc which would have the I got past it. Ah. Sorry. They on the magazine there used to be a disc, and one of the things they used to do is they used to feature a bunch of games from Net Euros, which people had made on the Euros PlayStation, and that is something that I really missed because I felt at the time that Sony really were helping with like indie developers or like getting people into making games. And then suddenly, when they released the PlayStation 2, it was just like nothing there. Like there was no support for that sort of thing at all. And it's like I thought it kind of killed the bedroom programmer.
Yeah, I was sad to see it go. In that respect, the Net Eurosa things were great. I remember playing one called Super Bub that was like.
I remember that.
It was Puzzle Fighter, but upside down. And the production value for like just a thing somebody made in their bedroom was amazing to me. I've always loved seeing amateur efforts like that. They've always made me think, I can do this, which is sort of why I'm doing it now.
Yeah, well, like I say, I really want to get back into it. I've got loads of ideas for games, but like... I just feel completely lost when it comes to like actually making it because the languages that I knew, and I say knew because I did actually bring up a Commodore 64 emulator, and I was like, I can't remember how to do this. Yeah, I can remember most of the commands, but there's a lot of for particularly with using sprites, you had to use like poke followed by a number, and it was like I can't remember any of this, and I'm there like I couldn't even remember the command to clear the screen, and I was like CLS, no, that's not working. Clear screen, no, and then, I was lost. So it's like I can't even remember the languages that I used to program games in. But
I think I'd be the same if you put me in front of a Commodore Amiga and the Amos package I used to use. I think I would know absolutely nothing, and I probably made about 7 or 8 games in that.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back into it all again. So I like the way you like with the animations and everything. Is this all done like outside, like within the what's it called? Is it like using keyframes to do it?
No. Everything is either animated, sort of frame by frame drawings on paper, or they're sort of animated programmatically, like squash and stretch, scaling the sprite, or sine wave movement, rotation, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because well, I was going to say the way that you've done it does give it that old school sprite feel to it. Which says if you want to get back in the game, don't feel like you have to learn language. Yeah, Unreal 5's blueprints is one of the things I was looking at, and one of the things I've also played with a while back, because I wanted to make stuff for mobile phones, like just going back a decade or so. I was looking at what was it called? It was originally by Google and then MIT took it over. It's code blocks or something. It looked like a jigsaw puzzle, and I thought it was a really good way of doing it, because the way that it just seemed to work. All the logic and everything there was as if it was like a programming language. Well, it is a programming language, but I just liked the way that code blocks worked. And I was working on that, like trying to come up with basically a thing for making text adventures. And also as well with Unreal Engine 5's blueprints, I did see that there was you can use coding with it as well, and it's like I understand how object-based coding works. It's just that I can never remember the language. It's the having to have type everything and it be exact and precise, and then knowing about the libraries and everything like that's where I fail.
That sounds exactly like the problems I have with code in general.
So, but yeah, I'm definitely going to have a look at Construct. Because I mean, that's the thing with this as well. I mean, obviously it's a platformer, and a platformer follows a recipe. But I'm assuming you can make old school shoot 'em ups or like scroll along beat 'em ups on Construct as well.
Definitely, I would go. I have gone as far as saying that if it's 2D, then you can make it in Construct. It does have some limited 3D capability, but I'm not into that personally. But it's powerful for 2D, very powerful for 2D.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to give it a look. Because I mean, when was the last time you saw an old school shooter like R-Type?
There's actually kind of an active indie scene for those at the moment. So yeah, I think the last one I saw was earlier this year. I think it was called Tech Beat Heart. It was like a roguelike shmup, and that was pretty cool. Incidentally, a future project of both mine and my Jay, go ahead and segue into Maledictus. Okay, yes, a future project of mine and my partner is to actually make a bullet hell game in Construct, based on the Jam game that we did last year.
So when is it you're looking at starting that one?
After a rest and then a few loose ends post Necro launch. Yeah, we'll start the pre-production, all the brainstorming, mood boards, inspiration, that kind of thing. And I'm excited about it because my partner is, I would say, probably a better artist than I am, and working with him on a game is going to be amazing.
No, something else I look forward to. Like, obviously, let us know when you're doing it, and the moment it comes out, I'll be streaming it. I always like to support indie developers, and even better when they're local. I'm rubbish at timing. It's weird, really, considering I can play instruments. It's like my timing in video games is really bad.
Something I have actually learned through making video games, and this is quite a recent discovery, is that I take for granted that I'm pretty good at timing challenges. Like, obviously the first person that tests any level I make is me. And
Yeah.
I'll make something like a timing, you know, the sort of dodge the bullets kind of thing, and I'll test it, and it's like, yeah, this is kind of easy to do. And then I'll watch somebody else play it, and it's a complete different story. Like, some of us are better at some things than others. I am apparently very good at timing, and it's sometimes easy to forget that.
Yeah, I'm liking how each of the levels has a different flavour to them.
That's definitely a thing that I aimed for. I very consciously tried to make every level feel like it's its own sort of concept.
Oh, please tell me you haven't got an ice level in this.
I have some good news for you. There's no ice levels.
I've always had when I was streaming, was it Zelda? I went on a rant about how I hate ice levels in games, because it's like it's the whole like way that they'll have you like walking on the spot, and then you slowly speed up, and then like you kind of have to start like walking in the opposite direction to stop moving in that direction.
I think most people hate ice levels almost as much as they hate water levels, and that was another reason that Quickly Quackly had one.
I don't think I got as far as the water level in that. I can't remember how far I got in that. I need to play that again. I'd say Necro's some of the most varied level settings here. I'm just singing actually. I'm trying to remember this YouTuber's name. He's funny. He does. He basically he sits there with a keyboard and he does like stereotypes for like video game music.
It's not Seth Everman, is it?
I think that is. Sometimes he wears a pair of sunglasses upside down. And he has a very stoic look on his face while he's playing.
Yeah, that sounds very... I think his name is Seth Everman. Yep, that's the guy I'm thinking of. I just did a Google search. Yeah, I think it's Seth Everman. He's done some medleys, I guess, of like he'll do one tune, but he'll do it in like several different video game styles or whatever.
Yeah. Music on this level is actually reminding me of Quackshot. Donald Duck Quackshot.
There's a deep cut.
Deep cut.
Yeah, I like Quackshot. It's not one of the Mega Drive games most people will talk about, but I think one of the things I liked about the 16-bit era of platform games is that they often went around the world, and they gave you this feeling of being in a different place with each level, and that's the thing I definitely tried to capture with Neko Necro.
I need to get good. Yeah, it's one of the things here. It's like, yeah, I may not be getting past this one little point here. Or I may have spent ages trying to get away from the whale. But I knew that it was all down to me. I never felt once that the game was cheating. Which is, I have had that in other games. Where, particularly, again, Dark Souls. Where I felt like, yeah, I've ended up looking and goes, but I hit that. I did that. Or like, how did you get me from there? That didn't hit me. But yeah, not once have I felt like that in this. It has all been, nope, that's me. I messed up. Oh, pressed that too many times.
Yeah, as I have said, I want players to beat my game. Like, I obviously want to make them challenging, but secretly I'm cheering everybody on, and I think this comes from I saw like a Facebook post some years ago about Dungeons and Dragons D&D that said a good game master wants the party to win but doesn't let them know that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the attitude I go in with. Like, everything, it might look like the odds are stacked against you and everything can kill you, but like, it's made by a person who actually wants you to succeed.
Yeah, well, it's like when I play D&D, or I run a D&D game, I do want the party to win, because it's like I'm as invested in it as they are, like, if not more so, because I've come up with the story and everything. I want them to get through the story. I want to tell my story. The last thing I want is for them to all die, especially for their own stupidity in the game, which I've had a few times. There was one, well, it was actually Cyberpunk, where one of the players decided to do something which was going to get them killed, and I tried to keep them alive. It's basically, I started the game off where the game started with a chase. So I like to drop people right in the action with Cyberpunk. And they decided to climb out of the sunroof and hang out the back of the sunroof and shoot the car behind them while laying on their back. And I said to him, like, you do realise that the car's currently doing 120 miles an hour down the motorway, and it's not a straight motorway, and it's weaving in and out of other cars and having to turn corners and stuff at 120 mile an hour, and you're dangling off the roof. Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna hold on to the what do you call it? The roof rack. There is no roof rack. It's just a roof. And they're like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna do that. So, right, okay, you make an agility roll, and then make their agility roll and fall off the back of the car. So then I decided, right, okay, you've got caught on the tow hitch of the car, and it's like I've given them chance after chance after chance. In the end, they died. I got fed up with actually trying to keep that player alive.
I think it does come from the same place, though. I mean, when you have carefully prepared a campaign for players to enjoy, you kind of want them to enjoy it. You don't want them to self-sabotage and like not enjoy the thing you've made.
Yeah. Well, I joke about it. Like, I want to get a set of poly dice, that are completely blank. Yeah, so it's like I roll the dice and I decide what number's on the dice. Yeah, because the reality is, it's like, yeah, I will want to make it a challenge. I want there to be the risk that you could have a character die. I definitely don't want a full party wipeout. And yeah, I will adjust the difficulty of the fight. If they get into a fight and I see that whatever they're fighting against is doing a lot of damage to them, and they're not doing very much damage back, I will make adjustments to to the stats. And I've had like, there was one player that I had once in a game that was very Puritan, and they were like, oh yeah, but that monster has more hit points than that. And it's like, I've turned around and said, yes, I know. But I decided that they'd already had some injuries before the battle. Because I didn't want the party to die. But like, yeah, they were not happy about me adjusting the stats to the creatures.
That is strange, because one of the big secrets about game design is that things are very, very often, especially in the best games, they're very often weighted toward the player.
Yeah.
You know, like giving the player this slight advantage. It's why, like, you can play a platform game and, like, maybe if you watched your gameplay in slow motion, your character's head brushes against spikes when you're jumping, but they don't die because the collision box is just that tiny bit smaller to give you, the player, more advantage. And, like, there are a lot of games doing that, and they tend to be much more fun when they do. Big secret.
No, I've noticed it with some games where, like, I mean, I used to do it a lot in platformers when I was younger, where you'd just walk along to the edge of the platform, and you got that one pixel. You'd be there, like, going right up to the TV, looking for that one pixel that you can jump off.
Yes, I remember having to actually do that to progress in Revenge of Shinobi on the Mega Drive.
Oh, I used to get frustrated with that.
There is one jump.
Yeah, did you ever play Alex Kidd in Shinobi World?
I did. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I much preferred that to the original Alex Kidd.
Yeah, Alex Kidd's weird. A lot of people have really fond memories of it, and it's... I wish the game I played was as good as everyone remembers.
I'm just catching up on the chat there a minute. Again, glad that the game doesn't have a timer on it. I think it's always that I want to get to the end and be like, look at what you're capable of. And I'm kind of coach people through it better than they thought they could be. That drives me in my level design. I also have an ego thing. Like, if I can't design a level that you can get through, then you can't tell me how brilliant I am for what I've designed. Yeah, no, that
Classic said.
Right, no, I need to get the... Ah, don't... I keep making the mistake of using the analog stick. And when it comes to platforms, I actually do find it easier to control them with the D-pad.
Oh, D-pad is like the analog stick, but good.
Okay, I need to double jump that.
In fact, I almost put in, you know, like some games have the diagram of the controller.
Yeah.
I almost put one of those in so I could label the analog stick as movement and then the D-pad as movement, but better.
Well, it is was I'm trying to remember where it was I was watching. It was I think it was Linus Tech Tips. We're talking about is it Azeron something, like a new controller. Looks like someone holding your hand from below. Oh, mistimed that. When I looked at it, I thought, like, that looks confusing as hell. It would take, the learning curve on that must be huge. But like, the actual bit for movement on it is a thumbstick. And like Linus was saying on there, like, yeah, you kind of get the whole thing of being able to use a thumbstick with a mouse with it, but the downside is you don't have the precision of ASWD. And it's one of the things that, yeah, with an analog stick, you got the dead zone and all that, where you want to just nudge yourself that tiny little bit, but you can't do it so easy with an analog stick.
Yeah, there are all kinds of complications to actually making good analog control, especially in like a 2D platform game. In fact, Zed there in the chat and myself have had lengthy conversations about D-pad superiority.
Well, I'd still argue that the keyboard and mouse is far superior to control pad. I prefer playing platformers with a control pad than keyboard and mouse. I always will. But like, I think one improvement that could be made, and I'm surprised that it hasn't been done yet, is analog. Like, you know, you got your mechanical keyboards, analog keys. So that so there is an amount that you can push the key down. So not pressure sensitive, but you can push it down a little bit, and it does a little bit of movement. Push it down all the way for full movement.
I just gotta take a water break.
No worries. In fact, it's probably usually I take a break every hour. So I'm going to take a break right now and throw a bunch of adverts at everyone, because otherwise Twitch doesn't like it. So yeah, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. So give me a chance to quickly nip out the room as well. So I'll chat a bit more in a mo. Hey everyone, thank you for waiting. So if you've just joined in, I'm here playing Neko Necro, which you can get on the link that's just popped up on chat. And as well as playing Neko Necro, which has just come out today, I am also on Discord with the game's developer JXT.
Hello.
Oh, I will stop dying on those bits. Yeah, it's definitely a very, very different feel to this world than the previous one. There's a lot more to avoid. I'm going through this. I never actually looked at what the controls of the game was. I just picked up the controller, and I'm only using 2 buttons on the controller. Is there any other controls that I'm not using?
No, that's it. That's 2 buttons. And it's actually a conscious thing I did. Whilst toward the tail end of development, I was thinking about putting in a tutorial world. Just like a couple of levels to explain things. And Zed, friend, publisher, probably also still in chat, said no. Don't do it. The game explains itself well enough, and we had a conversation before about how a lot of modern games are kind of almost breeding out the curiosity in their audience. They'll like explain everything and leave players to figure out absolutely nothing for themselves, and we kind of miss that.
Well, that's one of the things. I think I might have mentioned it when I was streaming the what was it called? Some of the Metroid games. Because normally on a Monday I do Metroidvanias. But yeah, I was streaming one of the Metroid games, and I was saying then about how games how games back then had tutorials, but you weren't aware that the tutorials were there because of the way that it was done. So it's like, you would fight a boss, and then the reward for that boss might be that you get an ice laser, and then in the next room you've got like a small gap. It's too big for you to jump across, but then you got a creature that just pops up out the water every 2 seconds, and that's your tutorial for using the ice laser. You learn from that you can freeze creatures in the air and make platforms out of them. So there was no You know, no physical, like, you've got the ice laser, press this button to do it. It allows you to freeze enemies in the air, to make platforms, to make you reach higher places. Yeah, there was none of that. It was just, you need to get past this area, figure it out. You've just got a new item. What do you think you do with it?
I think that was better though, because when playing Super Metroid for the first time, when I realised that not only do you stun enemies with the ice beam, but you can stand on them now, that was like mind-blowing. Big light bulb moment. I was like, oh, that is clever. I think I appreciated the game more for that.
Well, there was also quite a few things like, oh, another tutorial that you had in it actually was there was a hole that you'd end up down, and you'd try to get out, and you'd end up with this huge, great big pillar, like or like not pillar, shaft, and there was no way of getting up it. But you had these 3 aliens there that would just go, and then they would like bounce off the walls and work their way up the walls. And all you had to do was copy them. It was a nightmare to do. You had to really time that perfectly to do the wall jump. But that was the tutorial for the wall jump.
Wall jump is terrible. It was a good tutorial. I think. I don't think I would personally have known the wall jump existed if it weren't for that. Because, as I just said, Super Metroid's wall jump is sort of terrible.
Yeah, I got past that bit. I was right next to the exit as well. I lost count how many times I died there. I was literally right under the exit, dying each time. That sounds like something I don't want to be... Oh, that's nasty. I've got to really time that well. Nope. Nope. I have this thing that I always do with platformers. I don't know whether you do it, where when you land on a platform, you end up pushing to the left and then to the right, and then to the left and then onto the right, like hoping that like you position yourself correctly, and then like end up falling off the side or something. Like almost like second guessing yourself, and then second guessing your second guessing when you go for a platform.
I have been playing platform games for so long that I can't remember when I used to do that. I probably did.
I keep underjudging the distance.
I have a version of that in 3D platformers though. I have this tendency to jump after landing on tiny platforms in 3D platformers just to make sure that I'm safe. It makes no sense. I've just landed, you know, that's why I can jump. But I will jump again just to make sure that I'm not slipping off the platform.
Yeah. Okay, there's a pattern here. Oh right, okay, that was background. Oh cool, it's a checkpoint. I thought I'd have to go right back to the beginning of the level then. Yeah, if this had a Super Mario style timer on it, I would be panicking. I don't think I ever actually died in Super Mario due to the timer running out.
In the original, I think there's like one stage. I think it might be in World 7 or something. No, it might be 8-1 actually, where there is danger of running out of time. But most of them have like really generous time limits.
I misjudged that. Thought it was going to be one. How am I dying on this in this bit? Like back in the, I remember playing Mario and being able to dodge like all of those fireballs coming from King Bowser, along with those like fire rope things. And it's like, I should be able to dodge these fireballs without problem. And maybe I have gotten old. Right. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to be recommending this to as many people as I can.
Cool, thank you.
So, out of curiosity, have you? I mean, I have no doubts it would have no issue at all with the Steam Deck. But like, has anyone tested it on a Steam Deck yet?
There does exist a YouTube video of somebody playing it on the Steam Deck. I don't know if they get all the way through, but it's certainly enough to show that the game works. I made a tweet earlier joking like, Valve, please send me a Steam Deck so I can test my game. This is for the good of humanity, please.
Yeah, I do want to get a Steam Deck, but my priority with Valve products is actually the Index. I really want a Valve Index. It's actually the primary reason I built my PC. Was with the intention of getting VR, because I've been obsessed with VR for years. I used to have the Gear VR, and I'm really annoyed actually that Meta have ceased all support for it. So I've got all these games and stuff that I bought on the Gear VR, and I can't download them, can't transfer them to anything else. They're all there on my Meta account, but I can't transfer them to like the Quest or anything like that. And that's actually really put me off of the Quest. I don't want a Quest now because of that reason. It's made me think like, well, what if they do the same to the Quest? What happens to everything I bought on that?
Yeah, that is kind of the problem with everything. Well, with everything. No, everything being digital these days, I think. Like, actually, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Oh, I think all of it has the risk of like they could just take it off the shelves.
Yeah, like they can be delisted or whatever at like any time. And you know, if you bought it on a store, often it all gets delisted. Sucks to be you. Like,
yeah, well, it happened with
it sucks.
It happened with Devotion. I don't know if you know about that one at all. I mean, I didn't get it on Steam.
I do.
Well, it was a horror game that was I think it was Taiwanese. I streamed it a while back, and And it's like I kind of liked the idea of like being able to put up on my stream. This game was removed from Steam as part of like my title and everything, just to kind of like have people going, "Ooh, it was removed from Steam. Oh, why was that? Oh, it must be really bad. It must be really graphic and really horrific if it was removed from Steam." No, it was actually removed from Steam because there was a reference to Winnie the Pooh in the game, and the reference was regarding the Chinese premier, who doesn't like being compared to Winnie the Pooh. So there was a complaint put into to Steam, and Steam removed it from their library. It was basically one of those, oh, if you want to trade in our country, then you got to remove that. We're not having that on your platform. Not having our premiere compared to Winnie the Pooh. The game for quite a while you couldn't get it anywhere, and then eventually the developer actually put it up on their own website, which is where I got it from. Yeah, I like the fact that if you
interesting and odd story.
I like the fact that before you do the boss, if you want to go back and get your milk, you can. And I haven't been collecting the milk. There's a couple of times I've got it, but I think I got one carton of milk in that. I mean, I'm assuming that's just an achievement, or maybe like the special ending or something. Or is it just
I don't know whether to get all spoilery here.
I'm fine. I'm fine with spoilers, but I mean it's up to everyone else.
It'll tell you something if you beat the game. But the reason it boots you to the map screen when you beat level 10 is because you can skip some levels if you want.
Right.
If you get really stuck, and Super Meat Boy did this, it was great. Like if you get really stuck on a particular level, you only have to beat a certain amount to get access to the boss. Like you don't have to play all of them, just most of them.
Well, I didn't actually realise that was a thing. Like especially in Super Meat Boy. I mean, I've forgotten the name of it. Macmillan. I think it's Macmillan, isn't it?
Macmillan.
Yeah. They're notorious. Like I mean, I've got pretty much every game they've made. I mean, I've even got the Binding of Isaac card game. I've got the what was it called? Tapeworm game, board game they came out with. And there was like a while back, there was like an offer on Steam, and it was like the Macmillan bundle. So I've got pretty much everything they did. Because I mean, it was Binding of Isaac that got me into Macmillan games. I heard of Super Meat Boy, but never played it until I got Binding of Isaac. And I had the original Binding of Isaac, not the... Yeah, I had the... was it the Flash? I think it was Flash that it was originally done in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the Flash version, which, to be honest, I kind of preferred the look and feel of the Flash version than the newer one. I mean, the newer one, control-wise, plays better, but I preferred the look of the original Flash version. And
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I think the Flash version, there was something about the whole quality of the lines and just the way it looked, and the Danny Baranowski soundtrack. I think the original had a better aesthetic in general.
Yeah, it's like the original one. I like that. I like that. Dun 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 dun. I like that, like, because it was almost like a music box, and I really liked that. Yet with the remake of it, it went all heavy metal. And don't get me wrong, I like the soundtrack of the remake. It's just that the original felt more Binding of Isaac, really.
Yeah, it suited the whole tone better.
Yeah, because it was like very nefarious with the whole like Isaac's mother thing. It was like I actually really like. Sort of like you actually end up really fearing for Isaac, and I think it's a brilliant lore to the game as well, like what it all is. And especially when you've managed to get all of the endings to the game, and you realise everything that's going on. It's really, really, really dark. That's brilliant. Okay. So I just really love the idea of a cow flying a UFO. That's brilliant.
It was another thing I wanted to draw at the time.
Well, there's always the whole thing of like, you know, cows being abducted by aliens.
Yeah, it is a reversal of that. There's actually a little bit of to a couple of the bosses. This is one of them. Hathor is like the Egyptian goddess of night, who is sometimes depicted as a cow with horns, and putting the cow in the UFO was like kind of there's this thing going around like aliens built the pyramids, and it's the most ridiculous thing. And I think the kind of people that propagate that thing, they refuse to believe that like Egyptians, people with brown skin, could build something so grand.
Yeah.
And so me sticking the cow in the UFO, like literally an alien Egyptian, is just like me taking the mickey out of that.
Yeah, well, it's, the idea of a cow flying a UFO is almost as ridiculous as aliens built the pyramids.
Yeah, entirely.
It's no, I think that's brilliant. Yeah, and it's really bad as well that like recently there's been a huge like increase in the amount of people who believe that crap. Like the amount of arguments I've had with people who refuse to believe that the Earth isn't flat, and it's like, are you kidding me? Like,
oh, I have no idea why that's got traction lately. You know, we debunked that centuries ago.
Well, it's like the yeah, it just seems to be an increase in oh wow, you get faster. There seems to be like just an increase in dopey conspiracy theories. I mean, I get the alien UFO ones. That's fair. Yeah, there is. I think the idea that we're alone in the universe is absolutely just silly. Yeah, I don't think you're going to come across many actual scientists that believe that we're the only life-sustaining planet in the entire universe. There are quite a few scientists that will believe that, you know, it's very possible that we've been visited by other intelligence. But the idea, though, that aliens built the pyramids and, you know, the only reason we have Casio wristwatches is because of alien intervention and all that is just, yeah, it's just silly. But like the flat Earth one, like we've proven over and over and over again that the Earth isn't flat. Yeah, you can go up in a hot air balloon and see with your own eyes that it's not flat. But yeah, still, no matter how much evidence you show, yeah, they don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I'll get him down to his last life, and then he goes nuts with the firing gun at the bottom of the ship. Go on. Ah, I missed it. This boss music really does make me think of the Commodore 64 as well. It's like there's a certain sound font or sample that you used in it. Very much reminds me of the SID chip.
Yeah, that's because I arpeggioed a square wave synth. I did like that about old 8-bit music, and occasionally some Amiga music and keygen music even. They used to use that sound a lot.
I'm doing the thing of where I get down to like the last bit of health on a boss, and then I doubt myself and think I'm not going to do it, and then like mess up because of that. And now I'm just messing up. So I can definitely see, like, with certain parts of this game, I can definitely almost see the insert credits to continue.
I think somebody commented earlier on that, you know, when I joked about that I was going to have a 9 lives mode, I think I was going to call it arcade mode, and that was just a reaction to YouTubers saying that the live systems are they were there to rip off children, you know, in arcades. And it's like, I do see where you're coming from, but
yeah,
that's not their only purpose.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, they have to make money off of the machines. They use the electricity. They've got to cover the cost of the arcade machine. And actually, you know, to be honest, back then, I actually used to use arcade machines as a basis for judging whether or not a game was worth it to buy on the console.
And it's the thing a lot of people forget about arcade machines, is that they were still a business. They still had to make money. So when people say like games only had 3 lives back then because they had to take coins off children, it's like, well, you're not wrong, but you are actually wrong. You know, that's not their sole purpose. They had to make money. But at the same time, like, if that's all they were there for, nobody would have played them.
Oh, exactly. And the thing is as well, is that people were pouring their money into them. But then after a while, you had people that were beating the game and beating it over and over and over and over. And they got bored with it. So which is where you started getting your first game mods. Like, we think of game mods as a recent thing since like PC gaming has really, really taken off, but it's not. Games were being modded way back before games consoles were a thing, because you originally, like, I think Gauntlet was one that got modded. I think Pac-Man was modded.
Pac-Man was originally just a mod by Midway.
Yeah. It was it was basically they'd have the original circuit board and they would add this other circuit board to it to make the game do something different. And the whole idea of it was to get more life out of the game that was there. And if I remember, there was a bunch of companies that did it that got that even got taken to court over it. I think Midway was one of them that got taken to court for modding the game. But then there were other arcade developers that were like, oh, actually, this is a really good idea. Yeah, carry on. Which is, again, we're seeing that today as well. Because you'll get, like, you know, Nintendo will come out with a game. And, like, someone will manage to make a mod for it to get more life out of that game. And Nintendo comes along with a cease and desist. But then you have, like, example, like I mentioned Mods earlier. You have the Echo S mod, which Mods and the team there has been working on. And that there is like voice acting through the entire game. And like where people have been streaming it, Square Enix have actually been coming into the streams and saying hello and asking how everyone is and how the mod's going and all that. So, like, you know, in that case, there, like, that's Square Enix themselves actually going, "Good job, you know, you're actually getting, you know." Basically, Square Enix look at it and go, "This could increase our sales in an otherwise obsolete product."
I think that's the wise way of going about it. Like Sega have embraced modders
Yeah, well,
for Mega Drive ROMs.
yeah. What was it?
Um,
There's a Sonic game. I recently got it on Epic for free. I can't remember what it was now. Was it called Sonic Chaos or something like that, or Sonic
Sonic
some
Mania.
Sonic Mania? That's the one.
Yeah, that was made by basically Sonic modders
Yeah,
originally.
and then are given an official release. Yeah, there's like loads of things like that. Like another one which really embraces the modders is the X series of games. Like one that I play quite a bit, like X3 Albion Prelude. It actually has a basically a modding tool that comes with the game, so you can mod it. They actively encourage modders to mod the game, and it's like, yeah, there needs to be that there. Same with CD Projekt Red. They encourage modders for Cyberpunk 2077. Bethesda went about it the wrong way, which was that they'd basically class it as DLC and you had to pay for the mods, but then the modders didn't actually get anything for it. Oh, so I'm in Japan now. Okay, I'm gonna have to jump down there to see what those skulls popping out the ground are about. No, it just means death. I like that, the chibi sushi.
That also has a story behind it. So,
Oops.
you live in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Have you been to Let's Sushi?
Let's
In,
Sushi.
Yeah, Let's Sushi, Division Street, not the one in Meadowhall.
No, I haven't been to that. I've been to, is it one called Yakushi, and yeah, and I've been to Yosushi in Meadowhall. But
Well, Let's Sushi on Division Street. They you go into a place and their Wi-Fi code will be on like a little chalkboard or whatever. They've got this little sort of picture with a clip art sushi that's got Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi symbol above it, and I took a picture of that in my phone when I first saw it years ago, and I'm like, that's adorable. It's like the sushi has Wi-Fi. I need to put that in something, and there it is. So those sushi are completely based on the Wi-Fi password sign in Let's Sushi on Division Street.
I am looking at this katakana on these platforms here. I'm really, really bad with remembering like my katakana for that. Is that
It's a little stylized.
Yeah, is it
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's yeah. No.
Right. No, I was gonna. Yeah,
I refer to them as nope blocks. They're
Yeah.
like because they're there and then they're like nope.
So do you speak a bit Japanese? Do you?
No. I do love a lot about sort of Japanese aesthetic, I guess. Some aspects of the culture, not necessarily how insular and xenophobic they have been in the past, but like I don't know, sort of artistically there's a lot I like about Japanese video games, and given that I was making a Japan world, I wanted to put some at least semi-authentic stuff in there.
Yeah, I know a little bit of Japanese. I did start learning it a few years back, but then I stopped after a while after things in life got in the way.
Yeah, I was once upon a time learning, teaching myself Japanese in my third year of university, just because, like, I would love to be able to speak and write Japanese, but my attention span sort of said otherwise to learning it. So I know one or two things. That's it. My one is that I've tried learning the hiragana and katakana, and I can recognize it. So I can recognize like a few characters now and then, but like I often get them confused with each other. And what makes things difficult as well is that like phrases like, for example, watashi wa isn't written as watashi wa. It's written as watashi ha, which just adds to the confusion with trying to learn it. As for kanji, no chance. There's no way that I'm going to be able to ever learn kanji. I mean, from what I understand, even Japanese people are like, why are we still using this? I'm scared of the sushi. I keep going to jump on things like Super Mario style. Getting like, no, you can't do that. Right, I can see. There we go. Got that one. So what did you actually create the music on? Like, was there any specific like music creation software you used for it? I use OpenMPT or Open Mod Plug Tracker. It's a tracker format very similar to the old mod files that you might have had some dabblings with back on like older machines. I don't know. I know I learned to compose those on the Amiga, and I've always preferred it to stuff like MIDI because it's sort of sample based. You can just grab sounds, make instruments out of it. I know modern audio tools like Fruity Loops can do all of this kind of stuff, but sometimes I get very set in my ways and I just want to use the things I know.
Well, I use Mixcraft. Is it Mixcraft 5? No, Mixcraft 8 I'm using at the moment. And I was also using Caustic 3 on my phone. But again, that was like mostly like MIDI, composing MIDI and using synthesizers. If I could, I would have the latest version of Cubase because that's what I was taught to use when I did sound engineering.
Yeah, I used a little bit of Cubase during a failed attempt at studying music at college. I was on national diploma. So I could probably pick it up if I wanted to.
Oh, Mr.
Mind you,
Milk.
it might be the case that like I've forgotten everything. I don't know. I can use Piano Raw type software, but I like trackers. You know, if you've ever seen anyone use like LSDJ to make Game Boy music, you know that kind of stuff. It's all trackers all the way down.
I had a friend back in school who used
comfy.
to compose music on their Amiga, and it was like it looked like a lot of stuff that involved whoops, like hexadecimal entries and that, and I really didn't understand it. But they used that for like they would have like samples that they'd mix together, and that they would use that to do it. And I would look at it and go, how does that translate into music and stuff? I'm assuming that's what you're like sort of referring to.
Yeah. What you will have been looking at is just a list of. It will be hex values. There'll be some notation data in there. The hex values are usually effects or volumes, stuff like that. I describe it to people as like a spreadsheet of notes.
Yeah, that's what it
notes,
looked
volumes,
like.
Stuff like that. Yeah, that's the format. The Amiga, I think the big one was Pro Tracker, but I used one called Octamed that was a little bit expanded.
This bit here that I'm struggling with, it is my own sense of timing here, where it's the same spikes. Einstein once said that the definition of stupidity was doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results.
That's video games.
Right, I've just... Oh, good, it comes back. Oh, evil. I didn't see those spikes until I hit them. I was like, right, I got you, kill you. And it's like, nope, straight into the spikes.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to play around with player expectations. Like, you've been using this thing to bounce all this time, and now here's a part where you do not want to do that.
Yeah, the music on this is definitely very 90s. Almost Streets of Rage, it reminds me of.
Funny that. I love Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage's soundtracks in general.
But there's also a sound sample that you've used on this level, which I recognise from Killer Instinct. Oh, damn it, I could have got out of that. It's like a sort of noise.
Oh, yeah, the kabuki sort of, yo. I know where you're thinking as well. Oh, that'll be on Jaego's stage.
Yeah.
There was just something about 90s cheesy dance music that I love. I still love. I think I am probably a disgrace to the goth community or whatever for the amount of 90s cheese that I listen to.
No, you should. Most of the stuff I listen to is more like 90s, and I mean, I'm a cyber goth, so like there's a lot of electronic music in what I listen to.
Yeah, I love a bit of that.
I know this is a thing where, like, you know how like a lot of games where you might usually get frustrated because you can't get past a part. This bit here, like I said earlier, I know it's not a oh, the game's cheating sort of thing. It's I know I can do that. I know I can do that, and that's one of the things which keeps the playability there. Plus, I also know that if I really had to, I can always turn the game speed down. But yeah, I don't feel that I need to. No, I do need to kill that bit of sushi. I'm loving the style on this. As I noticed the bushes on the Japanese level as well, they look like they're like drawn pixels. I'm assuming that's like a reference to like video games as well.
I think because everything's basically drawn with straight lines. I think I was trying to make them look sort of fluffy, but with squares. But I did like the fact that they look like pixels, so sort of kept it. They're actually based on, I forget what they're called, the little moss balls you keep in water. Marimo, I think. But yeah, I didn't plan to make them look pixelated, but that they do is like just it's a bonus going with it.
After all that struggle of getting through there, and I just zipped through that so easy just then. As I died just before the checkpoint. I was like thinking, oh no, I just died right by the checkpoint. And then, afterwards got to the checkpoint really easy. Oh, this
sometimes though, I think that's part of the reason we struggle at video games, like, or why we do so, keep playing them even though we do struggle, because we know that you can learn, you can learn enough that something you found very hard will eventually be just so easy, and you'll just do it, and it always feels amazing when you do.
Did I get it? I don't know if I got it. Yeah, I did. I got it. I don't know what the second key unlocked. Why did I knew that was going to happen, yet I did it anyway. So have you managed to do a complete run on this?
Yeah, I've beaten the thing in its entirety, like maybe about 20 times in testing. One of the advantages, I mentioned disadvantages of being autistic earlier, like being easily confused by admin stuff, but one of the advantages is having an attention to detail, and like I don't mind playing this about 20 times through 100 odd levels. Like I'm looking at a different thing every time, so it just makes good testing. Although it's not every autistic is going to be detail oriented and love doing the same thing over and over, so
Well, I have autism with ADHD, so it's like I have a mixture of both. I like doing the same things over and over and over, but my attention to things over and over and over is really poor.
Yeah, I get that. Haven't got an ADHD diagnosis, but I may chase one up in the future. But yeah, they can often cancel themselves out or cancel each other out.
Yeah, I mean, I have some things where they cancel each other out, but for the most part, I have both at the same time. So it's like, I have the really annoying. One of the really annoying ones is I hate mess. I absolutely hate mess, but I'm a messy bitch. Yeah, it's like my autism hates mess, but my ADHD makes me messy.
I think I can relate there as well.
I thought I was going to make that one then. I keep getting the feeling that eventually, like, I'm going to pop these beehives, and I'm going to have like bees chasing after me in a minute.
Oh, they're supposed to be lanterns.
Oh, I thought they were beehives.
Paper lanterns.
No, I can see it now. So I forget them. I've got one in my room. If I tilt my camera up a minute, like I have one up there, and I forget that they exist. I forget that they're a thing. Oh no, my camera's all crooked. Oh.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I forget. I forget that they. I forget that they exist. That they're a thing. Yeah. I think that's.
I might actually have to put beehives in a future game though, because bees are fun. I like bees.
As long as they're not wasps. I hate wasps. I hate wasps in real life, and every game that has ever had a wasp in it, or anything based on a wasp, I hate it. I will get past this.
I think if I put bees in a game, they will be friendly. I think, like, because people are kind of scared of bees sometimes, and they get a bad rep, and they're friends. We need those. So yeah, I like to put some friendly bees in the game.
No. Oh, nearly. Oh, I got further that time. But yeah, I think it's wasps that give bees a bad reputation. Because it
probably is.
Because obviously, you know, bees have a stinger, and because wasps are so ready to sting you, people think that bees are as well. Oh. Oh, got it. I'm now looking at that going, could I have gone another way up there? But no, I don't think I could have. That was... Oh, that was taxing, that bit. It's like, I wouldn't have said it was hard because you can see what you need to do. It's just like, and it's like constantly there. It's like, I know I can do that. I know I can do that. That was me. I don't know how far I'm into it. I think I'm about a third of the way through now. Or at least... No, I can't be a third of the way through. I've only fought 2 bosses. So about
through the game?
Yeah, I think I'm about a quarter of the way.
Through the main story, almost 3/5. Yeah, about 60%, almost.
So like you got a story mode and a challenge mode, I'm assuming then.
There are 50 challenge levels after you've beaten the game, yeah.
killed you. One of the things that I'm definitely like is you have a style to your game. So if you're working on a shoot 'em up next, I'm kind of half expecting to see the basically the high contrast, because like Mr. Chiefs had high contrast as well, even though it was it was coloured. It still had that same look to it.
Yeah, given that my partner Harry is doing the art, it may look different, but he's a good artist. I have every faith in him. I don't know whether it's going to be as high a contrast, but it should look really good.
But I definitely look forward to playing that, because back then, like, yeah, shoot 'em ups was one of my favourite type of games. I even had the shoot 'em up construction kit on the Commodore 64. Like one of the games.
When you first mentioned that you made Commodore 64 games, I was expecting that you would have said shoot 'em up construction kit, because a lot of people sort of got into that.
It was actually one of the latter game makers I used. Like I said, Gary Kitchen's Game Maker was what I used most. But yeah, shoot 'em up construction kit. Because I mean, there was even like essentially AAA games that were made on that. Like when I say AAA games, like it's more
the big ones at the time.
Yeah, like Rambo. Rambo on the Commodore 64 was obviously made using the shoot 'em up construction kit. But I don't know where I'm going here. No, that was the right way. I think I'm further than I was earlier. Right, this is this is going to be a race it back, isn't it? No. I like what you've done with this level here, where it's like essentially the level transforms. And hey Capri, how are you? Yeah, I'm loving the game so far. Oh damn it! Oh, very nostalgic actually. I'm also enjoying the conversation I'm having with Jay. Like, for those who like the look of the game, go check the game out. It's there on Steam. And as I always say, help support independent developers, because, to be honest, a lot of independent games are far better than the crap that is released as AAA nowadays. I don't mean that as an insult to the programmers and the people who work really hard to make AAA games, but the board of directors who tell them what to do and then like interfere with all their development and everything. I don't know if you feel the same way as I do with a lot of modern games now.
I think I do, but to be honest, I don't really play enough modern games.
Well,
My tastes have pretty much landed squarely in the retro and indie sort of area of recent years, and I'm happy with that.
whereas mine, oh, poop. Mine is all where it is, mostly because it's basically the last console that I felt I had a connection with was the original PlayStation. Yeah, there's been games that have come out on console since then, but not. There hasn't been a console where it's had like a games where I've got like, oh, I want to get that game. Oh, I want to get that game. It's all been like, particularly from like the probably PlayStation 3 onwards and like the Xbox 360 onwards. Like everything just started feeling the same. Yeah, it was like you'd get like Dynasty Warriors was one of them. It's like a friend of mine would be playing Dynasty Warriors, and I'm like, which one is this? I can't tell because they all look the same. They all play the same. It's even the story to them just felt the same. And it's one of the things I don't like about a lot of modern games. And it's like now it's even like they're not even putting a 2 at the end of it. It's just like they're just like, no, we'll just re-release the same game again and again and again. Bethesda. Oh, not just Bethesda, but Rockstar as well. How many more times do they want to release GTA 5?
That's it. Progress has stopped. We're just going to be playing GTA 5 with I've forgotten the name of it. Skyrim forever. That's games now. No, I joke. It sometimes feels like that.
Yeah. Well,
I do occasionally, very occasionally, like to look up and actually play a new game. But I think that the last newest one I actually played was Doom Eternal.
I still haven't played Doom Eternal yet, and it's like I was only talking to one of my housemates about it the other day, and saying about like how far Doom has come. Oh, yeah, that it's come a long way from what it was back then to to what it is now. It looks really difficult. But like the last big game I bought was Cyberpunk 2077, and it is one of my favourite games. I mean, I'm a big Cyberpunk fan anyway. I've got the Cyberpunk 2020 core rulebook, Chromebooks 1 and 2. I've even got like original character sheet book, like mint condition, and yeah, I just love Cyberpunk. So when I heard that they were finally making a Cyberpunk game, I was all over it. And the moment that I had the moment I was able to buy it, I bought it because I didn't care. Like I mean, I was saying to people like, stop giving CDPR like crap over its release date. Let it be out when it's out. But like people were like constantly, oh yeah, you cause more and more delays on it. It's just like we're in the middle of a COVID lockdown at the moment, and it's like, yeah, the game was released with a few bugs in it, at least like console wise. PC wise, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, console wise, it had a lot of bugs in it. But like, I don't understand why CDPR got so much stick for it, yet no one seems to kick off with Bethesda. Not to the extent CDPR got it.
It's weird how selective gamers can be sometimes with criticism that's reserved for some developers, but others get off scot-free. It's been a bone of contention for me for a while that Nintendo often get overlooked for some of their sins. I mean, I kind of get that Nintendo have made some of people's favourite games ever, some of the best games out there, but I don't think they should be cut as much slack as sometimes they are. I mean, would you like to listen to some Nintendo music on YouTube? No. No.
Yeah. Or like that you got. Have you ever played AM2R?
I haven't actually, but I love the look of it. I do like the Metroid series.
It is awesome, and I've played Metroid. I've played Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, and AM2R was just brilliant. Of course, like Nintendo, being as they are, they weren't happy about it. I was like, why? Because someone's taken your game and made it better? When I don't understand some of the copyright stuff. I mean, yeah, to me there's a big difference between taking someone's, say, like music and burning it off onto another CD and going, this is mine, I made this. To me, yeah, that's a copyright violation. Same as like, if you take a DVD and you make like 40 copies of it and sell them out of a car boot. Again, yeah, major copyright violation. But when someone's made a fan game, which they put up there for free as a homage to a game that they loved and enjoyed, and then like your reaction to that is, we're going to take you to court. I think it's kind of shitty.
I suppose perhaps they felt like they had to.
I mean,
especially given that later on, although it wasn't quite a few years later, there was an actual official Metroid 2 remake come out.
Yeah, but from what I've heard from other people, because I still haven't played the official one, the remake that they brought out on the Switch, I think it was, from what I've heard, isn't as good as AM2R. Hey, Rory Spacefish, how are you? Yeah, AM2R is a free down. Well, I don't know if it's still there, but yeah, it was a free download. Absolutely brilliant game, way better than the original Metroid 2. But yeah, I think it was Return of Samus or something was the Nintendo's remake of it. And from what I've heard from people, it's not as good as AM2R. Graphically, it looks brilliant, but yeah, apparently it lacks the imagination that AM2R had. This bit is evil because I can't see where I am going until the platform disappears. Please say no. Oh. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it that way, am I? I will get past this one little bit. Not like that, I won't. So people made something that wasn't exactly your game as a fan creation. It's free, but you're going to take people to court. Yeah, well, I mean, I get that it is Nintendo's IP, but I mean, you've got the same thing that's gone on with content on YouTube, where like for example, like people have made their own animations and stuff featuring characters from a game, or like made a parody of it, and then like you've had the actual company give them a cease and desist over it, even though copyright law actually says, yeah, you can parody stuff and it doesn't violate copyright.
Yeah, that's fair use.
And there was something as well. I got pulled a couple of times on copyrighted content for music in games that I'm using, and or games that I've played. And it's like, well, no, that music was in the game that I played, and it's like the difference between most of my streams and my horror streams is my horror streams, I'm showcasing independent games, rather than just playing the game. And I'm also being critical of the games. I'm essentially really heavily reviewing those games, saying where I think they could be improved and everything like that. So that does come under fair usage, because I am reviewing and criticizing the content. If the game creator has put music in there that carries with it a copyright, it's down to whether or not they had permission to use it, not whether I had permission, because I don't require the permission because of fair usage. Oh, I've done it again. It's a bit like there's a video that I put up on YouTube, which is me basically criticising Boris Johnson through animation. Like anyone who's, well, I could have survived that. Anyone who's used to my channel, bear with me, will have seen this redeem before. Yeah. I've got a video on YouTube that starts off with this, and then a boot comes in, kicks Boris Johnson off the screen, and then he's like flying past a bunch of ravers, and then he flies out the door of number 10, where there's a bunch of people having a rave in there with Hitler in the window with glow sticks. Then he's like flying past a bunch of people, NHS workers that are clapping, lands on Peppa Pig's car and makes it break down and so on. But anyway, there's a bit of music that's playing in the background, and it's a bit of music that is anyone who's used to memes will recognize straight away. Shit, oh crap. Yeah, they would recognise that piece of music straight away. Anyway, that video immediately got a copyright claim on it. Under fair usage, I'm allowed to do that because one, memes actually would come under fair usage because the very meaning of a meme. But I'm also creating political satire and political commentary using that piece of music. The piece of music itself being the meme, and me applying Boris Johnson to it. So again, under that, it comes under fair usage policy. But YouTube don't allow you the ability to question it. Twitch do. Oh, damn it. Oh, I don't. I leave it up there. Oh, no. Oh, you mean the band that does it? No, the band is very well aware of the meme. Because people have gone, oh, I like that bit of music. So they look up what that music is. And then the band gets sales. Ah, no, I could have done it. Nearly. I'm getting a tiny bit further. I think this is probably the hardest bit of the game so far for me.
It is actually one of my favourite levels. There's something I really like about the idea of like going to a level and then having it completely remold itself on the return trip.
Yeah, I really like that. It's like, the thing is, I'm there thinking I should have paid attention on the way up to like where certain blocks were. Now I'm just making silly mistakes. Yeah, now I am making absolutely silly mistakes now. Out of curiosity, have you ever played Getting Over It?
No, I know of it though. I've watched videos. It's a thing I want to like, but I already know I'm not a fan of the gameplay of like Bennett Foddy's games.
Yeah, well, I assume
which it's a shame because I appreciate the vision, but if I'm not having fun, I'm not having fun. You know, I like what he does, I just don't really enjoy it.
I assume you played Co-op then.
Oh yes, I have played Co-op. I did manage to beat Co-op. I stumbled across everything on one knee somehow. I think it took me like 20 minutes.
We'll get through you.
No, I do like the principle of getting over it because it's a little bit of a rant of mine that it goes with the whole life system thing. With a lot of gamers are really precious about their progress. Like they'll refuse to play some retro games because 3 lives and then you're back to the beginning. And it's like, is going back to the beginning, especially when you've learned how to play the game, really the worst thing that can happen? And there's getting over it. It's like, you are gonna fall and you're gonna climb back up, and that's the game. And I do appreciate that. It's just, it's got that Bennett Foddy whole jointed movement thing going on, so I don't think I'll ever get around to it.
Oh, damn it. Oh. At least I died in a different location this time.
That's progress.
One of the things that got me with like I have got Getting Over It, but I got it more to wind up friends with. So it's like if I have a friend who's like, oh, you got to play this game, let's see how far you can get. And then like I warn him after a while. He's like, no, you're not putting your fist through my monitor. No, you're not throwing my chair across the room. But yeah, I got it more to wind friends up than I did to play it myself. There's a certain point that I just cannot get past on it. But it's like you said, it's the Bennett Foddy weird controls that's the issue with it.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, as I've said, I do appreciate the vision. You know, it's definitely a one-of-a-kind thing, and I do respect that a lot.
I tell you what you should try and do with this, is see if you can get in contact with Markiplier, send him a game code. Because I know Markiplier loves games like, where he loves Super Meat Boy, and I'm pretty sure he would love this.
Yeah, I wonder what the chances are that Markiplier will play it.
Well, most of what he plays is indie games. I will get past this. I need to keep telling myself, I know I can get past this bit. I've got past it several times. I screwed that up. Oh! Just missed it. I can see why you called them note blocks. Just when I think I've got the timing right. Mistime that one. So yeah, if your style is that you really like is all platformers, and you haven't played the what's it called, Battle Block Theatre, I think you would really enjoy it.
Yeah, I remember now. It's one I used to see around the Xbox indie marketplace, I think it was, and the style of the cover art always looked pretty good, like cartoon.
It's done by the was it the Behemoth Games, the same people who did Castle Crashers. And it does actually have a story to it that ties in with another game they did called Pit People.
Okay. Were they the same devs as Alien Hominid?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
Oh, finally I made it. Yeah. I think I must have been stuck there for about 20 minutes. Oh wow, I'm already at the boss. I actually thought I thought I was way further back than this. Yeah, I think this is the boss that I remember seeing a clip of, and it's like really like the look of the character. And then it's like I think I saw like footage of it. Go, oh yeah, this boss is going to be a nightmare. Okay, so is Neko male, female, or non-binary there?
Non-binary.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Because, yeah, I like the way you got, like, madam. It's like, just Necro. Or just Neko.
That's often the way it goes, though. Like, somebody will sort of guess one way and then try and correct the other, and it's like, No thanks.
I like the skull for a tongue. So is that inspired by Alien or?
Yeah, a little bit. In truth, I like drawing skulls. I think they're cute.
Okay, I need to work out what I'm doing to this crow.
Ow!
Oh, that owl reminds me of another game. I should have known that was going to happen.
Ouch!
Yeah, Earthworm Jim. Whenever Earthworm Jim got hit, he was always like, ouch, ouch.
Yeah, I kind of hear that.
Stop it!
Okay. No. Is that actually firing? It is. Right.
Ow!
Too early.
Yow! Ow!
Oh. Didn't time that very well.
Ouch! Ouch! Ow!
Just jumped straight off into the pit.
Ow! Ouch!
Yeah, can't hang around on the third one.
Ow! Stop it!
So what would you say is the hardest boss on here?
The World 4 boss.
Ow!
I don't know if you've seen the trailer. That's the angel at the end.
Is it the one that looks a bit almost Cthulhian with the multiple eyes?
Yeah, Yeah, that's the one. It's a bit of a reference to the biblically correct angel meme. That Raguel there is not biblically correct, but biblically correct. It does have a lot of eyes. Biblically correct angels are weird. They're either rings and rings and rings, or like too many wings or too many eyes, or too many eyes on too many wings, probably within some rings.
They look like a creature from Final Fantasy. Okay, I'm not judging that distance very well.
That hurt. Stop it.
I can't get past the third stage of this boss.
Ow. That hurt.
Oh. This saves the progress at every stage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, so I'm just looking at the time thing. I'm going to have to go and get some dinner in a minute.
Yeah, I could also do with some food.
Ow.
It has been hours.
I actually run less advert breaks than I usually do as well on this stream. 'Cause usually I run one every hour, but
Yow.
right, one more go at it.
Ow.
I'm definitely going to be playing this again
Cool.
without jumping off a cliff like that. Yeah, one more go. One more go. That wasn't the go.
Ow.
Neither was that one. I don't know whether probably the battery on my pad running out actually. I don't know whether it's my reflexes or my control pad.
I don't know, you've been going at it for like 3 hours with a tiny break there after the first hour.
Stop it.
Oh, it's addictive.
I'm admiring the endurance.
Yow.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to the pattern for that there. Yeah, if I just jump in the bottom, that doesn't count as a turn. Yeah, one last go. Not that one. It is addictive.
Ow. Ow.
If I get underneath, you shouldn't be able to hit me.
Ow. Ouch.
Yeah, I think I can see how to get the third phase of him.
That hurt.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end my stream there, and I'm gonna see if anyone else is playing this at the moment. Go and do a raid. Let me open the. It'd be ideal if there's other people playing it as well. No, it looks like I'm the only person. that's playing it.
Boo.
Yeah, that's kind of for sure. It has only just come out though. So, do you get when do you start getting your feedback for when you for how it's been doing on Steam?
I could ask Zed, the publisher, sort of figures. But the thing is, I try not to obsess over the numbers because I think I'm just going to end up getting anxious about them. So I'll probably get a report like at the end of the month.
I'm looking for someone on my follow list that's playing a platformer sort of game. Because I mean, I always like to raid into someone who's playing similar. There's someone playing Ghouls and Ghosts, or sorry, Ghosts and Goblins, which I haven't seen in years. So
I play it every October. It's a great game.
Yeah, might actually go there, and then we can. Well, hopefully they'll go. Oh, Neko Necro, haven't heard of that. What's that like? And then I can drop the link to the drop the link to Steam on it. Right, so yeah, copy that. Oh, hang on, no, that's not. Oh no, that's an advert. I was going to say that doesn't look like Ghosts and Goblins. Oh, so that it's a resurrection. So is it modded or something? I will soon find out.
Oh, that would be the recent one.
It's still retro. It's just Ghosts and Goblins made pretty. It looks like it's very similar to the controls on it. Please don't tell me you're about to do a raid. No, they couldn't be. Not after only an hour. Right. So, I'm not sure I've ever raided them before. Come to think of it. No worries, Capri. Thank you for coming along. Thank you everyone for coming along. And yeah, if you haven't already, go and stick this game in your wish list, or better, go and buy it now. Link for the game in the chat. We're going to go off now and try and sneakily promote Neko Necro to Blowfishman TV. So thank you all for coming along. Keep an eye on my Twitter for when I next come on, because I've got a few live things going out at the moment. It's getting in the way of my schedule stuff. But I will be going back to proper schedules and stuff soon. But yeah, keep an eye on my Twitter, and I'll keep you all updated on what's going on. For now, I'm going to go off and say hello to Blowfishman TV. Thank you all for watching. And thank you for coming along, Jay. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And yeah, I will see you all again soon. Bye.